up? It's Kalia Monique. My first name's Kalia, my middle name's Monique. It's Kalia Monique. Now today I have a cozy, calm, sit-down video for you all in which we will be discussing my goals for 2023, both for this channel and in my reading. I have 12 goals listed out, so with no further ado, no need to drag it on any further. Let's go ahead and get started. The first one is taking a wellness week. 1 week out of every month, I will be taking a week off. I would just be taking that time off. Now, as y'all will see it will vary from month to month, but some of them you guys might actually see a video. Some of them I might actually decide to sprint during, so I might be present, I might not, but for 1 week each month I will not be editing any videos and I will not be filming any videos. Last year I was not very happy with my inconsistency and how big the breaks I took last year were, but I was also dealing with a lot, so I was also quite understanding in my situation as to why those breaks were more prevalent and why they kept occurring, especially when it came to the end of the year. But I definitely do want to be consistent with this channel. I want to plan it better, and I feel like having 1 week each month where I can just sit I don't have to constantly be thinking about the channel, and I have this communication with you all so that you are prepared and know that this is what's going on during that week. I will be feeling so much better, because one thing that happened last year is when I was taking the breaks, because I didn't plan them and it was just like a mental thing that I was going through, I was feeling really guilty that I hadn't communicated with you all. Even if I would post it on Instagram, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys here on YouTube because it wasn't that far planned out. Speaking of which, definitely follow me on my social medias, because I tend to, if I'm not here, I'm probably going to be there. Even if my page doesn't show that I'm there, I'm always on my Instagram stories. So that is one way to communicate with me. I think taking these intentional breaks will be better for my well-being, and that is something that I am definitely putting in the forefront of my focus and my priority for 2023 and the years to come. Is my well-being comes first, and this is my way of asserting that and making it very clear that over everything I am focused on my own well-being, my mental health, putting love into myself and all that jazz. So I will be doing a lot of pre-filming. Like this very video is one that I pre-filmed on a day that I had time. So I will be doing pre-filming, so sometimes even if it is a wellness week, you guys might get a video if I had time to film prior. And sometimes I might decide to hop onto sprints because I miss the channel, and sprints don't require too much. Like, I both film and upload in that moment when it comes to sprints, so it's a lot less work, kind of. It could also be just weeks that I am not posting anything and I am not doing sprints. Check out the community tab. When I realize that it is those weeks, which will probably be like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I will be posting that this does count as a wellness week. I've already taken my wellness week for January. It was not planned, but it happened. So wellness weeks, they can be happening at the beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month. It's really just about where I'm at. And my next goal, speaking of wellness weeks and things I might do during wellness weeks, I am planning to sprint at least once a month. I'm putting this as the goal, but I'm feeling like the normal will be at least twice a month I will be sprinting, because I love sprints and I love sprinting with you all, and I missed it dearly for the times that I'm not, and especially coming out of Cozathon and Thrillathon and all the readathons, I get to sprint with you guys more because I planned ahead. Now listen, sprints will still be impromptu probably, because I usually don't know if I can sprint until the day of. Like, I don't know when I have energy until it's time and I have the energy. Again, my goal is to do it at least once a month, but I'm feeling like the normal will be at least twice. Next up, one goal that I'm really excited and hope that I conquer is that I want to fall back in love with vlogging. I recently stumbled across one of my older vlogs from like the very beginning of my channel, and I was like, oh, this is a good vlog. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot, okay? I was like, this is cute. There's like b-roll and it's feeling very cozy and calm, and I just have not been feeling that with my recent vlogs. I remember starting the channel, and I know like vlogs for me are my favorite bit of content to watch, and so I was very excited to get into vlogging. And while my earlier videos, I'm like, you're really focused in on your faces, the angle of the camera is a little off, but for the most part, content wise, what I was saying about the books that I was reading, all of it just felt great. Like watching it in hindsight. I remember doing those vlogs and being like, just do what you gotta do, sis. You're going to get better as you go on. And I feel like at some point I just became very self-conscious. I started feeling like I wasn't having enough balance between relaxing, calm mood and just updating the vlog. And so I just really want to get back into vlogging. Like I said, it is my favorite content to watch, and to some extent it is my favorite content to actually film. And so I feel like as long as I can balance between the sit down videos and the vlogging ones, I won't be feeling that burnout with vlogging that I found myself feeling towards the end of 2022. And hopefully we can get back into those like calming, relaxing vlogs that I loved oh so much. Next up at number 4, I want to do more challenge videos. I have fun with them, from like reading 100 pages a day to reading 30 books in 30 days or whatever it is. I like those videos. They're like little experiments that I get to do, and I want to do more of them. I definitely have some in my thoughts, but let me know down below some challenge videos that you would like to see me do, even if I've done them before. If you'd like to see me do them again, if you would like me to do any challenge videos, leave them down below. I really want to do like one a month or one every other month. So any challenge you would like to see me do, definitely leave down below in the comment section. I am excited and I really want to do all of them. Let me know any challenge ideas you all have in mind, and I will definitely get to them as soon as I can. The competitive nature in me really wants to get into this, and then also I just like the social experiment of it all, kind of like, not even a social experiment, just an experiment of it all. Like, it's just fun. They're just wholesome fun. All right, and then my like transition channel slash reading goal, I want to unhaul more books. In doing so, I would be having unhaul videos, which I am nervous about, but still I want to unhaul more books because my shelves are full and there's just not, I don't think that I'm going to read all the books that I have on my shelves, and I feel like some are taking up space that don't need to be taking up the space that they are. Like books that I found were just okay, or books that I haven't read and don't intend to pick up. It is time to let go of them and let someone who will enjoy them pick them up. And now heading into the book specific, reading specific goals. First and foremost, I want to read 75 books this year once more. Last year, my original goal was 100 books, and then life happened and I was like, oh, that's not happening, baby. And I brought it down to 75 books. Last year I read 75 books and I want to read 75 again. And next up, I want to DNF books. And I mean for real, for real. Usually I'm not that bad at it. Usually it's like, okay, it's time to let this one go. But I want to decide it earlier, because what will happen is I won't DNF the book. I'll be like, oh, well, the author took their time to write this book, so I'm going to give it a bit more. And then by the time I give it a bit more, I'm like, but I've read this much of it, so I might as well finish it. And then I've read a book that I wasn't enjoying. So, and I'm giving like a poor star rating. Like, no, what we're not going to do is that anymore. I'm going to DNF books. Yes. Even if it's soft DNFing, like, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, Kalia. Let the book go. Even if you come back to it later, for right now, it's not its time. Let it go for a later date, because all it does is make me not like the book because I wasn't in the mood to read the book. And next up, I want to have a better mix, a better combination of reading my favorite genres. If you don't know, my top 2 favorite genres are romance and fantasy. And you guessed it, at number 3, my favorite genre is fantasy romance. I like those two combined. However, what I have noticed is that last year I read mostly romance with a sprinkle of fantasy, and the year prior I read mostly fantasy with a sprinkle of romance. I want it to work. I want it to build better. I want them to be closer to 50-50. Of course, I do want to extend the genres that I read and extend my limits with reading outside my comfort zone. So I want them to just be closer to a 50-50. Just please, I just want it to feel like I'm just reading what I want to read and having fun doing so. And that includes reading the genres that I love the most at an equal capacity, because last year, while I was loving romance and in my romance bag, I still missed my fantasy reads. And while in the year prior, even though I was loving my fantasy reads, the second I hopped back into romance, I could not come back So if I can just have a balance of the two, I feel like it'll be a lot better, and I feel like I won't have those moments where I'm like, I cannot leave this genre because I have been dehydrated in reading romance reads, or I've been dehydrated in reading my fantasy reads. It's just like, I can read either genre and it'll be a lot more even, and so I never feel like I'm lacking in the genres that I love. Next up, one that is very important to me, like I really need to start doing this more because I have such a wide variety of books and so many books. I need to start shopping my shelves. Like my whole reason for buying books so often, and my whole goal with having so many books, is that I want to be able to shop my shelves. I want to have like a library of my own, to where I am not just surrounded by books that I have read yet and I'm rereading, because I'm not somebody that rereads often. I want to go on my shelves with the mood for a certain type of book, go to that section and pick up a book that I'm interested in. It's about time that I look at my shelves the same way I look at Barnes & Noble, because I have so many great books on my shelves that I just haven't gotten the chance to read yet because I'm anticipating anticipated releases too much, or I want to go to the bookstore too much. It's time that I romanticize my bookshelves the way that I romanticize the bookstore. Another really important goal for me personally, it's time to read those subscription box books. Oh my goodness. And this was supposed to be a goal last year, but I don't think I ever made this video last year. But I'm making this video now, and a goal that I have is that the month that I received a book, the following month that book will be on my TBR. Now y'all know I don't have TBR, but I must read the book that I received the prior month in the month I am currently in. And I really hope that I can keep up with this one, because I feel like it really will be a challenge for me, but it's a challenge that I'm excited to accept. Y'all weren't gonna tell me I had lipstick in my teeth this whole time? Rude. Coming out of a similar goal that I had last year, I want to read at least 12 nonfictions this year. Last year I did it as I want to read one nonfiction a month, but what ended up happening is at the beginning of the year I was loving this challenge for myself, and then towards the end of the year I just wasn't feeling it anymore. But also at the beginning of the year, when I was loving reading nonfiction, I was also like, okay, I'll just save this next nonfiction that I really want to get to for next month. I should have just read them in that moment. Because by the end of the year, when I was reading very few books and I didn't want a nonfiction to be one of the few books that I read, I was no longer reading nonfiction. So I just want to make sure that I'm reading at least 12 nonfictions a year, because I really do enjoy them. I feel like it expands my understanding of different perspectives. I feel like I learn so much. I feel like I become more empathetic towards other people. I can learn more about the humanness in other people, and it just feels so good. And I also can find relatability in other people's stories that are like actual real people, not fictional characters. I feel like it's slightly more impactful for me to read someone else's experience and see that it mirrors my own in some way, and realize that this is also a real human being. Like, that commonality is really impactful for me. So reading those stories, also reading more about like mental health and everything, has been very therapeutic and helpful for me. Just to like understand the brain is very fascinating and helpful for me. And finally, kind of along those lines, but also adding in my classic books, I want to read more books that intimidate me. This could just be a chunky book. This could be a new release that I was really anticipating, and then just over the time I just became intimidated by it. This could be a book in another genre. This can be so many different things. This can be a classic. So many different things. I find myself getting intimidated by books all the time, but it never hinders me wanting to read it. Like, I want to read outside my comfort zone. I want to read different genres. I want to read big books. I want to read classics at some freaking point, please. I want to read all this stuff, but the longer it gets between me picking it up and reading it, the more intimidated I become by it. And towards the end of last year, I picked up so many books that I was intimidated by. Even at the beginning of this year, I picked up books that I had been intimidated by for a while, and I love them. I actually really love them. And so just thinking about that, like, how many books am I intimidated by that I'm not even giving a chance, that I'm gonna love, that are gonna be one of my favorite books? Like, seriously, Kalia, just stop. They're books. They can't hurt you. Like, worst case scenario, you DNF it. Like, it's fine, sis. It's completely fine. I'm happy I could rant a little bit and just share that with you all. But yeah, that is all for this video. It was a really quick video, huh? I know. Me? Me a fast video? Me a quick small video? Who is she? I don't know. Cause what? I think this might just be the shortest video on my channel if I'm being completely honest, but that's all, y'all. Who am I? Let me know what some of your 2023 goals are. Reading wise, life wise, let me know. Let's all share in this commitment. You know, you're a bit more likely to do it if someone else knows about it. At least that's what I'm thinking when it comes to posting this video. And if you don't know what to comment down below, but you would still like to comment something, go ahead and leave the shooting star emoji, because, you know, make a wish. Hopefully our dreams come true. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my face, my voice, my actionness, go ahead and press that like button down below and press the subscribe button and bell notification if you like to be notified when I upload. If you like to stay connected with me, as I would love to stay connected with you, I of course will have all my social medias linked down below as well. And if you would like to support this channel further, I of course have my Amazon wishlist linked down below as well. Now I believe that that is everything, although I'm probably forgetting something because I always forget something. But bye guys.